Welcome in, Geminis, to your October monthly tarot reading. I'm just doing a quick cleanse of our space, getting prepared. How are you all doing, Geminis? So today, this reading is for the collective of anyone with their sun, moon, or rising sign in Gemini, or you may be a potential cross-watcher, which means that you are connected to a Gemini and are trying to get some information about them. So we're going to tap in here. We're finally in the Northern Hemisphere. We're in fall officially. And for people in the Southern, we are in the spring. So exciting to have this change in seasons. I'm a big summer person, but I also really love fall. So, and especially Halloween, as you can see. So happy Halloween month, everybody. I love decorating for Halloween and doing all the Halloween stuff. I'm actually in a week going to Boston and Salem, Massachusetts to just have a little Halloween fun and check out Salem. Never been. So if any of you have been to Salem and have any recommendations, let me know in the comments. That'd be appreciated. So today I'm going to pull a couple of the Halloween Oracle, and then we have the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot to kind of keep with the Halloween theme. So as usual, when I do the monthly readings, I do look for trends between the signs. I do feel, as usual, there are some trends going on. It was interesting because I felt like the initial, I don't know how many signs, like 4 or 5 signs, seemed to be on the same trend. And then all of a sudden it kind of shifted, and then we had some outliers that had some random. And I guess that's just, life, right? It's not every sign's going to be the exact same, but I feel like the trend continues. It's the same trend as basically since July, of the theme of like what needs to be let go for in your life or within yourself. Okay, so it's either it can be something external like a job, a relationship, connections, but a lot of it has to do with internal stuff like beliefs, ways of thinking, that are really outdated, that have been really blocking you and holding you back. And you're going to start to notice, if you haven't already, you should have probably in July, in the summer, but like this intensity, this expansion of like the uncomfortability and like just not being able to continue the same way you have with either these energies, these ideas, these thoughts, beliefs, or these situations. So let's take a look for Gemini for the month of October. Just quick before I pull the cards, if you are interested in a private reading, you can schedule one on my website, and the link is below in the description. You can either select a 30-minute or hour session. Basically, what's on my website, it's pretty much the same. So just if you're confused at what to select, once we connect at your session, your reading, we can discuss what you're looking to do a reading about. So wanted to call that out. So let's look at the oracles. So what is the foundational energies or things trending for October for you, Gemini? So we have Skull of Light, Illumination. That's the first, you're the first one to get that card. Skull of Stars, Infinite Possibilities. Look at that, double skulls. Never pulled that before. And then Winter, the Sacredness of Pausing. So I do feel like something needs to kind of close out or wrap up or end before the winter. So for the Northern Hemisphere, this is going to be the end of December. I do feel like whether you're in the North or South Hemisphere, this still applies. So something needs to close out or wrap up by the end of September. And kind of this is an unfoldment to me in the next couple months, again, to the official start of the next season. But there's something about really a new awareness opening up for you. This could also be spiritual enlightenment. This is, like it says, illumination. There's something that comes to light for you, or this could be spiritual kind of, again, leveling up, like getting downloads, getting a new perspective on things, and really getting a lot of guidance and information. But I think something in your life needs to really be, it's almost like clarified. Like I feel like you're not really seeing the truth about either a situation or just life in general, and seeing things from a new perspective. I do like this infinite possibilities, though. It kind of brings up for me that you have, again, infinite possibilities, but it's all going to be about the choices you make through the next couple months. And are you making these decisions based on an awareness, like a real, like divine awareness? And to me, that's more about you as individually. This isn't about like illumination, about like seeing the awareness of the external. I think what's going to happen is as you become more aware of yourself and your internal kind of functioning, your internal beliefs or internal blocks, the illumination is going to then, it always starts from within, right? And then it expands to so without. So within, so without, that saying. And it's when you, if you can really find the true awareness within and make some new shifts, I feel like, again, you might feel like there's not possibilities in certain situations, or that you maybe have only one option. But I think the cards are saying you have multiple. But again, it's all going to depend on how you approach these and if you change. And if you're willing to transform, because when we think of, there's like a highest, your highest potential, right? Your highest potential, which is going to be your highest possibility. And that really is the getting on your highest path, which is going to be your path of like your highest joy, your highest abundance, success, love. So that's going to be your highest happiness. But the only way to get there is you have to level up. And that's about doing the internal transformation and finding the internal awareness to allow that possibility to open up for you. It's almost like there's 5 doors in front of you. And right now, maybe 3 of them are locked. Or even maybe 4 of them are unlocked, but one's locked. And you're like, well, I can't get in that door. So are you going to rush or be impatient and just pick one of the other doors? Or maybe it's almost like, I feel like if you just sit. So again, this winter is about pausing, right? Pausing, allowing yourself to just be and to feel out the next step. So there's definitely something too about not being impulsive or making radical decisions because you're impatient, because you want something right now. There's something about pausing here, because the decision you make of what door to go through is going to, impact your life in intense big ways. And you want to pick the right, ideally, if you're given the choice and you're like, hey, one of these doors is your highest path, you're going to be like, well, I want that one. But maybe they're like, well, we're not going to tell you right now. You have to use your internal compass and find that right door. That's your highest potential. And a lot of you are going to be like, well, I don't know how to do that. Or I don't want to wait. How long is that going to take? And you're going to want all the answers. But the thing is, maybe you just need to sit in this space and feel out all these doors until you just know. Like there's no, you know, but I do feel like there is a group of you. There's a lack of awareness. And because of that, you tend to be impulsive. You tend to make decisions really quickly without thinking through them and thinking through the consequences. You're just thinking in the now, which again, we want to be in the now, but sometimes too, when we think of big decisions and the consequences, if you don't think about the broader impact, that decision is going to end up causing you more suffering. So let's pull the tarot here. So what do we got underneath? So the first card out is that Ten of Wands. Yeah, we don't want more suffering here. And I feel like you've been through a period of, you've been carrying a lot of responsibility. I feel like for a lot of you, you're doing too much, and you've been doing too much for a long time. For some of you that tend to take on the responsibility for everybody and do the work of everybody, I do feel like you're getting to a point where you're trying to make a change to end this cycle. And that's where we have to be careful about what's the next decision, because are we just taking on more burden and creating more suffering, or are we finally letting go of these burdens of the past? Yep, Six of Cups. So there's something to do with the past it's almost like it's showing up again. And to me, it's not that. This is about, to me, this could be a lesson, right? This could be a pattern, a lesson that's showing up again, where it's giving you an opportunity. Are you going to do the same thing again and go in the same cycle? Or are you going to make a different decision this time? But to make a different decision, you have to have the new awareness, right? Yes, the Wheel. So this is fated in divine timing. This is like, to me, the divine time to finally end this cycle, this pattern of, again, this, right? And King of Swords. So it's about being clear, making a clear, responsible, mature decision that's gonna, again, create, the end result is going to be beneficial to you and to others here. The Four of Swords, the Four of Cups, and then we have the Strength card, and then the Chariot. And I'm just going to pull this because the Queen of Swords, and sorry, I can't help myself. We have the Hermit. It's just the story keeps unfolding, so I have to pull the cards. So like I said, so it's interesting because we have the King and Queen of Swords. So this could be you, Gemini, because the swords are air signs here. Just to call out, you could be connected to a Virgo, a Cancer, Leo as well. But I feel like this Four of Swords is again about healing the pattern. And I feel like you've been stuck in this pattern for a long time. I do feel like for some of you, you aren't seeing the pattern. And maybe you see the pattern, but you're not, you know, are you willing to, you know, again, there's this accountability piece as well about you taking accountability for the pattern, because it's your outward action and your reaction to things that have kept you in this pattern. But you're overcoming this. I mean, all signs indicate that you are going to overcome this and that you are going to move forward quickly in whatever new direction you're going. You know, again, the King and Queen of Swords is a meeting of the minds. So if you're dealing with somebody else in this situation, I do feel like you're going to get on the same page from a mental perspective, from an idea, from like a goal. Okay, this is what we're doing, a plan. But I feel like on the other side of this is real, real advancement from a consciousness perspective or spiritual perspective, where it's like, okay, you finally learned the lesson and you're kind of evolving to the next, path from a soul perspective. And that's where all of a sudden, to me, the Hermit is almost representing that door that either isn't showing itself yet or has been locked, and you haven't been able to get through that door to, and I feel like that locked door is something that you've really been wanting for a long time, but it's like you keep getting stuck in the same pattern. But to me, the only person who can change this is you. This isn't on anybody else. If you're waiting for other people to, give you what you want, or, to step up, again, this isn't about getting other people to change. This is about you changing. So I'm going to move these to the side for a minute, and we'll pull the rest of the reading here. Okay, so we got the Knight of Swords. So there's that impulsivity. This is being reactive. That Knight of Swords is a very reactive knight. You might get triggered and just react and make decisions out of your reactivity. And that's going to always, I'm telling you, no matter what, 100%, if that's how your outward action is, the consequence is always going to cause suffering for you or other people. And in the end, it's always going to impact you negatively. Two of Pentacles. There's that up and down energy. That also applies to that reactivity. It's almost like I feel like you have to be able to find some harmony within the self. I'm feeling for you, Geminis, for a lot of you, I'm feeling this like really, like internally, I'm feeling this like really like up and down and all around type energy. Like it just depends on the day, on who's triggering you, on what others are doing. You just react. So there's a theme here about reactivity. That may be your pattern. The Three of Pentacles. So this is about the connections you have, being able to work together to try to create something more stable and long lasting and successful. I am getting that for a lot of you too, there's this lack of being able to work in conjunction with others, because you tend to get triggered so much, or for some of you, your connections are just not healthy connections. Again, this could go back to you and the part you play in these connections as well. But there's definitely could be about unhealthy connections, and that the lesson too is about learning to, how do I harmonize internally so that I can work better with people in my life. Again, that could be family, love, coworkers, whoever. Five of Swords, Three of Cups, Ace of Cups. So here's the 3-3. So we go from the 2 to the 3s. The Five of Swords, so this could go back to you or someone you're connected to. So you could swap what I'm saying here. There's really this need to control your outcome, control your life, and you want to, again, this isn't necessarily conscious, right? This could just be how you work with others in your connections. It ends up, the truth to this is it ends up being manipulation, because you're trying to get what you want and not really being able to really understand how your outward actions, your decisions, the way you think is actually how detrimental it is to your relationships. Because it's almost, again, the Five of Swords is about somebody who always needs to get, it's like a win-lose game, right? This is like everything's like a battle for you to get what you want, the outcome you want. And again, we have the connection card. So we have these Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles are about connections. And then Ace of Cups here. So I think there may be some blocked emotions that are what are causing this dynamic, this way of being, this reactivity, this, it's like this is just how you innately respond or react to things. And again, this could be someone you're connected with. But this Ace of Cups is about, we need to start really looking at the emotional space, because there's a lot of swords here and then pentacles. And Geminis, that's very you. Again, you're an air sign. You're really about thinking. Again, we've talked about this for a couple months. Like, it's about you learning how to go deep within your emotional body and actually feel the feelings. Feel the feelings, because these types of cards, this tendency or reactivity is all because there's unexpressed emotions. There's deep kind of push down emotions that you've never really processed or allowed yourself to feel, because it could be as your child. That's not something your parents taught you. There wasn't emotional, what's the word I'm looking for? For one, there wasn't emotional vulnerability. There wasn't a safe space for you to actually feel what you individually feel to your environment, to your situation. And not saying it's bad or good. Ultimately, yeah, it is detrimental to the human, whether you're male or female. Ultimately, that has what has created the problem in our world, where a lot of people don't know how to be emotionally available or emotionally vulnerable. And that's because they were never allowed or learned how to have a relationship that was healthy with their own emotional body. And that's what I feel like you're going through. There is definitely, to me, some repressed emotions that you've never actually fully, in a healthy space, been able to process and work through. And I also feel like some of you are like, well, that's not me. But honestly, I feel like if you're here watching this video, it is you, and there is going to be stuff. Five of Wands, internal conflict going on. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, there's a lot of deep conflict, a lot of deep this is a really challenging card, the Five of Pentacles. And for some of you, this could actually be expressing itself as actually health issues right now. If you're dealing with any sort of health issues, pain, illnesses, this is all going back to your emotional body. And it's expressing itself because it's trying to yell out to you. It's, the body keeps the score. The body keeps the score of what's going on energetically and emotionally within you. And especially if you're reactive, if you're impulsive, that's a key sign here that there is something deeper that you have to look at here. Page of Pentacles. Yes, this is the opportunity. This is the lesson. And are you going to listen? Are you going to learn the lesson? Because I feel like I'm surprised we didn't get the Judgment card, because I kind of feel like you're at a crossroads in life right now. You kind of have a big decision to make about the next phase of your life. And I feel like there's, again, your highest path choice, which is the path that's going to lead to your highest, abundance, success, love, happiness. Or you can take other paths, and that's just going to lead to more of what you've already lived. And I think there's multiple paths I'm seeing for that. There's only one higher path here. There's multiple non-higher paths, but all those other paths are just going to be more of the same, is what I'm getting. And again, too, just something I'm picking up, if you're allowing yourself to only focus, let's say, on money, if that's kind of your deciding factor or your motivation, that's going to lead to more suffering, because you're not really focusing on really going deep in what does your real soul, your heart want, not what your head thinks, because again, Geminis, you tend to be in your head a lot more than your emotions or your heart. And there's definitely conflict going on, which is, if there's conflict going on energetically, I mean, there's no way you can make a clear decision. I mean, you have to resolve this conflict. And this could be, I feel for the most part, this is internally going on. This could also be manifesting out in your external world. So this could be representing this could be a relationship as well, where you're having a lot of conflict, fighting. And that's because of what's going on internally in you. So there's that mirror here. So even if you feel like, oh, this isn't me, this is the person I'm with. I mean, you're with this person and you're having this experience as a mirror. So there is still something within you that is mirroring this, that you need to look at. Again, you can't just say this is the other person and they need to do this, right? You need to do your own self-digging and self-identification of these stuck patterns, this stuck emotional body. This could be, again, parts of you that are still stuck in this state of pain, of suffering, of, not getting your needs met when we were children, and you're still kind of stuck in these reactive responses. All right. Just seeing if there's anything. I was gonna say, what's the lesson here? The Six of Swords. So this is about making your life easier. Okay, the lesson here, once you learn the lesson, all of a sudden things are going to become a lot easier for you. Life is just going to support you in new ways that you never knew were possible. I also feel like if you have connections as well, it's going to really help and support healthier connections. You're moving in a better place. You're going to move into a way better place, away from this Two of Pentacles. If you feel like things are always up and down or kind of tumultuous, or you always feel reactive, or maybe, money is an issue. You just feel like you don't have enough money or abundance coming in, and that's always a problem. Again, the root of the issue is, again, this internal conflict. I just want to get one for the Ace of Cups here. The Page of Swords. Yeah, it's like learning something new from an emotional standpoint. I think you're going to need to get your sea legs right. You're going to have to practice this. Practice emotional availability. Practice connecting more with your own emotional body and listening to what your emotions are telling you. There's definitely something that your emotions are trying to communicate to you with this Page of Swords, and you just have never listened to it. You've always dismissed it. You've always pushed it away. And maybe that's something you see in your relationships mirroring back to you, that you're in relationships that are not emotionally mature, emotionally available for you. Whenever you try and tell them how you feel, they just push you away or run away or avoid. And that's because, again, there's something that's your emotions have been calling out to you since you were even to it as a child. And then the Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles here. Knight of Cups. Yes, someone's trying to offer love. Love is trying to come in for you. Fulfillment's trying to come in for you. But I feel like you block it because of these. This is a block. Okay, and it's almost like you're fighting love. You're fighting the ultimate kind of, again, leveling up your highest path of, and that's even loving yourself, right? If you can't love yourself and listen and validate your own emotions, you're not going to be open and available for other people. So something's trying to come in. Someone's been trying to love you, or love has tried to come in and it just hasn't yet because, again, of, like I said, this is... So October is about learning the lesson that you haven't really been aware of, I feel like maybe your entire life. So this is a big pivotal moment for you. Okay, Pluto is back into Capricorn, I think through most of October, but then it finally goes into Aquarius. And what that is representing for us is anything stuck in the old. That Capricorn, you know, no offense to Capricorns, but Capricorns represent tradition and structures and the old way, organizations, and how they have been set up and how they have been functioning. But now that we're moving into Aquarius, Pluto's blowing up anything that just is not in alignment for you. So the lesson has to be learned. I feel like if you don't learn the lesson now and make new choices, once it moves into Aquarius, it's going to almost blow up in your face. Because of the reading for October. I feel like the universe is like, hey, we're going to give you a little ease here. We're going to give you the chance to do this on your own in an easier way, right? Six of Swords. Make this as easy as possible. But again, if the lesson isn't learned, I feel like if you go any farther and keep going down the wrong path, I think things are going to blow up in a hard way here with the Five of Pentacles. And this could be even like blowing up and making money even harder. This could also be your health getting worse, or just like a lot of just challenging times. And not to scare you or me, but for some reason I'm feeling this like intense, like wanting you to really learn this month. So, all right, Geminis, thanks for joining in. If you like the video, hit that like button. And if you want to stay connected to me and future readings, subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified whenever I post future readings. So, recommend taking a look at the weekly read as well to support you kind of each week as you go through October. So, talk to you in the next reading, Geminis.